What's at the core of achieving the good life? The major key to the good life. The major key is not in learning how to set goals. It is not in learning how to better manage your time.
Experience is with people that we're probably running at about 51% of our capacity. Something, I mean, you can think about this yourselves. I often ask undergraduates how many hours a day you waste or how many hours a week you waste. And the classic answer is something like 4 to 6 hours a day.
Every day, I'm going to get a little bit better. I promise you, accountability and transparency will change your life. As much as you want to sometimes isolate and be by yourself and think that you can do this on your own.
There's power in your voice. You have to commit to everything that you do. Don't stop now. Don't give up on now. Keep it moving. Take control of your life, believe in yourself. But make no mistake, you are worthy. Every day is a new day and another opportunity that others may not have. There could be no excuses. Many things will come at you. There are going to be times that you're going to want to give up, but you don't have the permission to do.
It is not in mastering the attributes of leadership. Every day in 1,000 different ways, we are trying to improve ourselves by learning how to do things. We spend a lifetime gathering knowledge in classrooms, in textbooks, in experiences. Now, if knowledge is power, if knowledge is the forerunner to success, then why do we fall short of our objectives? Why, in spite of all our knowledge and in spite of our collective experiences, do we find ourselves aimlessly wandering, settling for a life of existence rather than a life of substance? There may be many answers to this question. Your answers may be different than your associates or your spouses or your friends.
And so when I got released, I ended up moving back home with my parents. I couldn't find a job. I was depressed. I spent about a year at my parents' house, just broke in every way, financially, spiritually, mentally, physically. I remember my dad came home. My dad had just got sober. And my dad said to me, "Hey, I met this guy at a meeting. I got you a job. You get your ass down there tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Getting out of this house and getting a job." And I'm like, okay, I have a college degree. You know, I'm being picky for a year, watching Maury Povich reruns every day on TV and Jerry Springer. I go down there at 6 a.m. I walk in, I said, "Hey, my name's Eddie Milet. I'm here for the job." They're like, "What job?" I remember this vividly, right? And I'm like, "I don't know. They just told me you'd know." And they go, "Well, we have no idea who you are and we don't know what the job is." They said, "Do you know who's hiring you?" I said, "I don't remember." And they go, "Well, then you need to come back." And I go to the door and I go, "Wait a minute, his name's Tim." They're like, "There's a lot of Tims." And I go, "Well, I know he must be an alcoholic because he was at a meeting with my dad last night." They go, "Oh, drunk Tim, we know Tim, right?" And where I was a place called McKinley Home for Boys. It was a group home.
While there may be many answers to this question, the fundamental answer is the absence of discipline. Applying all that we know. That's the key word, discipline, self-discipline. We might add one more word here, consistent. Consistent self-discipline. It doesn't really matter how smart you are or how much you know if you don't use it. It doesn't really matter that you graduated magna cum laude if you're stuck in a low-paying job. It doesn't really matter if you attended every seminar that comes to town if you don't apply what you've learned. Better than knowledge is applied knowledge. And once we've applied our knowledge, we must study the results of that process. Apply our knowledge, study the results. Refine our approach.
Well, a campus of group homes. All my boys were wards of the court. They were removed from their family either because their parents were incarcerated, killed, or were molesting them. And I ended up in Cottage 8. Cottage 8, I had 12 boys. They were 7 to 10 years old. And I walked through that door that morning, not even knowing what the job was, and it transformed my life. I mean, in an instant, brother. I just saw these eyes, these little boys, and they just wanted someone to love them and believe in them and care about them. And I'd have this big belief that people that go through any dysfunction in their family or abuse as a kid, I think our eyes are different. We just have these different eyes, man. And so I could connect with these guys. Mine wasn't as severe as theirs, But I knew what it was like to have that kind of anxiety and that kind of stress and that kind of pressure put on you as a little boy. And I became like their father. I was there with them on Christmas and Halloween and their birthdays, and I lived with them. And it changed my world, because in that instant, I went from being this athlete who was ego, recognition, significance, gonna get rich, it's all about me. Always, when you're a good athlete, you knew this growing up, was always accolades.
The stage is set, and it's time to rock and roll. You're going to feel the heat, but you got to be cool, you got to calm your storm. You're walking into an arena, and you must be ready to work. There could be no weakness. There could be no excuses. Why does life have to be so difficult? Put away the destructive mindset. And if you stumble and fall, remember the ground will never apologize to you.
You know, inefficient studying, watching things on YouTube that not only do you not want to watch, that you don't even care about, that make you feel horrible about watching after you're done. That's probably 4 hours right there. You know, you think, well, that's 25 hours a week. It's 100 hours a month. That's 2.5 full work weeks. It's half a year of work weeks per year. And if your time is worth $20 an hour, which is a radical underestimate, it's probably more like 50 if you think about it in terms of deferred wages. If you're wasting 20 hours a week, you're wasting $50,000 a year. And you are doing that right now. And it's because you're young, wasting $50,000 a year is a way bigger catastrophe than it would be for me to waste it, because I'm not going to last nearly as long.
You can't. You're not an island, and you can't do this on your own. And yes, we got to have our good friends. We need to have those people that can encourage us, but it's not just on a horizontal level. There has to be a vertical level. Those coaches, those mentors, those people that have been through some things in life, you need them in your life. You need counselors and people in your life that can see you and see your blind spots, because we normally in life, we will not see our blind spots. Make good choices, great things happen. You see, every choice that I can make, listen, I can't control what you think about me. I can't control your opinion of me. I can't control what you say about me.
Yes, I'm talking to you. You've been put in a position where you ultimately doubted yourself. You've been told over and over again that you're not that great. You're not that good, you started to believe. And all of these things that you had been told. Most of your life is your fault, because you have more faith and belief in the people that doubted you. Instead of believing in yourself, you're not supposed to start at the top, you've got to grow it.
And so if your life isn't everything it could be, you could ask yourself, well, what would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? You'd be, who knows how much more efficient? 10 times more efficient, 20 times more efficient. That's the Pareto distribution. You have no idea how efficient people get. It's off the charts. Make a damn schedule and stick to it. Okay, so what's the rule with the schedule? It's not a bloody prison. That's the first thing that people do wrong. They say, well, I don't like to follow a schedule. Well, what kind of schedule are you setting up? Well, I have to do this, then I have to do this, then I have to do this, you know, and then I just go play video games, because who wants to do all these things that I have to do? It's like, wrong. Set the damn schedule up so that you have the day you want. That's the trick. It's like, okay, I've got tomorrow. If I was going to set it up so it was the best possible day I could have, practically speaking, what would it look like?
You got to believe in it. I never told you that was going to be easy. In fact, you don't deserve it. If you can't struggle through it, you don't deserve it. If you can't hurt from it, you don't deserve it. Nobody should have that much success in their lives. If they did put nothing behind it, we don't know the story behind the story.
But I control how I react, respond, and what I do with my life. I'm in control of my life. I don't let external factors control me. I'm in control of my life. Because sometimes life can be tough. Life can be challenging. And sometimes the obstacles in front of you seem like they're too big, and it's easier just to lay down. But you know what I remembered? I remember when my dad used to look at me when a kid and said, listen, Nathan, life is never going to give you anything, but if you make it and if you build it, nobody can take it from you. Because hard work and tenacity and refusing to quit and chasing your dream, you'll get there, I promise you. Maybe you don't hit the stars, but you'll land on the moon.